true and faithful relation would pass for many years between Dr. John D. and some spirits, according to Meric Casaubon, 1659, which he recreates the Cotton manuscripts rather accurately. But April 5th, Prague, Friday, I took my journey from Prague toward Cracovia. God be our good speed. Edward Kelly, I, Thomas Kelly, and Hugh Brickett, my servants. Friday, Cracovia, 1585. Aprilis 12, I'm ready. We came to Cracovia, and as we were within an English mile of the city, being a fair and calm day, there passed about half a mile before us, crossing from the right hand to the left, whirlwinds, diverse one after another, wreathing up the dust with great vehemency on high, and shooting forward still, and then mounting into the air, and so went southerly from us. And likewise some began on the right hand, and came furiously, raising up and wreathing the dust up into the air southerly also, and did not cross the way. When we came to our house, we found that a stranger was set into it by the landlords, Mr. John Long, the judge, and Martin Plutner, and having by me the keys of the storehouse and of the street door, I caused my stuff brought with me to be set in, and that night we made hard shift for lodging. But the new and forced-in tenants gave me leave to have one of my bedsteads, which was in one stove, and emptied the same to us, with much ado. Saturday and Sunday, so the 13th and 14th, we were sore outfaced, or rather threatened, that we should have no house there, and also one Bonner his arms were set upon the door, as if the house had been allowed to him ex officio. Monday, I made the rector privy of the injuries I endured, and he courteously sent 2 masters of art with me to the proconsul to have citation for the landlords to appear on Tuesday by 7 of the clock to answer to our complaint. This Monday night came the Lord Lasky from Lascaux upon a letter he had received from me from Nisso of my coming. Tuesday, April 16th. The Lord Lasky came to the house, and in the morning would have presently cast all their stuff out of doors, but by entreaty he permitted them to empty all into the lower stove, the entryway. In the mean space, I appeared with my lawyer or attorney, Mr. Tetaldo, an Italian, an ancient practitioner in the Polish and Cracovian causes. Arid to conclude, I had a degree against my landlords that I was to have at least an half year's warning, whereupon John, Laugh, yeah, that could be where the phrase comes from, gave me warning to avoid at Michaelmas, And so we came from the court, our townhouse, called Praetorium in Lakine. This same Tuesday afternoon, my Lord Lasky went to the King of Poland up to the castle and told him of my coming and how evilly I was used. And he said, why did he not cast them out of doors? And so have I now, quoth the Lord Lasky, and the king granted the house to be holden ex officio. And the next day the king was desirous to speak with me. April 17th, Wednesday, I went with the Lord Lasky to the king, whom I said to this intent, Consolatio pax eo misericordia die sit tibi, o serenissimo rex coramqua divinitas recipe admonitionem ut me sustinem quod nunc humilium facio paratissimus cum omni fideluit eo singeratate cacum regia vestra majestate tractere qua mehe divinitas injungantur quorum mysterium historias de ordine in ordinem referre praus occasio debitas non recusabe et qua omnia peragere qua deo vestra majestate regia gratia for intelligero, etc. I accidentally broke into some Italian pronunciations, I guess, here, because the C's are cousin, but and that sort of thing. The king answered, Acte vestra persona multa bona andive absente ita jam mehe gratas valde es adventus vester eo se quod sit eo qua vobis inagratia eo favor possit esse commado non de ero me vestrum favorum eo protectorum exister etic de istis eo alias majoribus rebus adequid magis opportune laquende tempus post festos istos dias qua tempor vos et me excursore jurabe, etc. Hereupon I made curtsy and was appertaining and stepped back somewhat from the king, and so the vice-chancellor and other officers, the chief secretary, brought bills to be read and subscribed or assigned with the king's own hand, which he did, and after the Lord Lasky had watched a sit time to tell the king of his desire to speak a few words to his majesty of some of his own affairs, and was bidden to resort straightway after dinner to his majesty, we took our leave with reverence, doing, and so went out of the privy chamber, or rather withdrawing chamber, through his privy chamber, where he had said mass when we came, and so into the guard chamber, and down, and so on. Now we kind of see here why they needed the 20-day break, right, from the operations. Friday said, I took ghostly counsel of Dr. Hannibal, the great divine, that had now set out some of his commentaries on the Pimander, Hermetis, Trismegister, Saturday, April 20th, I received the communion at the Bernardines, where that doctor is a professor. Tuesday, so April 23rd, the ghostly counsel and comfort as his case required. On Easter Monday, very devoutly in St. Stephen's Church, Edward Kelly received the communion, to my unspeakable gladness and content, being a thing so long and earnestly required, and urged of him by our spiritual good friend, as may appear by sundry former actions. And things are about to get more interesting in what we're sharing.